Crawl in, my cadaverous crowd of Second Life. I'm Felix Lubezki, your Crypt-Keeper from the grave. Come in to the Crypt of Terror. Once again, we meet for our shivery session. Yes, it's your host in horror, the Crypt-Keeper, opening his mad mag with a terrifying tale guaranteed to curl your hair and curl your blood. Several issues back, I told you a yarn about a butcher would prove very popular. One avid fan even sent me a cleaver with complete directions for where he wanted me to do with it, but it didn't sink in. So I decided to tell you another story about a butcher, one that I'm sure will tickle your spare ribs. I call this meaty little morbid melodrama, as the nauseous cannibal remarked on a particularly hot day. Taint the meat, it's the humanity. No one paid much attention to Zach Gristle before World War II. He was just another small-town butcher, but that was before the war. Suddenly, with the advent of meat rationing, red points, and ceiling prices, Zach Gristle became very popular. Howdy, Zach. Morning, Mr. Gristle. Morning, Zach. Morning, folks. On early, I see. Yep, suddenly old Zach Gristle found himself the most popular man in town. Why not? He was the only butcher. Remember those days, kiddies? Ration books, so many red points for each pound of meat, so many red points allowed each person per month. It was pretty tough, that situation, that is. Oh dear, I only have 41 points left, Mr. Gristle. Can I owe them to you? I'm awfully sorry, Miss Winkle. I need those points in order to buy the meat myself. I couldn't do that. No sirloin steaks, Mr. Gristle? Sorry, Mr. Fuddy. I had sold the last one to Mr. Conspicitor. I could let you have a few pork chops. Sorry, Miss Dickleboard. Nothing but salami left. I expect another shipment tomorrow, but you better be online early. First come, first serve, you know. Poor Mr. Gristle. He tries so hard, and he's so honest. His rationing certainly is hard on him. Yep, meat rationing was hard on Mr. Gristle. That is, until he discovered an interesting fact. If I could get a nice steak, Mr. Gristle, we'd sort of forget about the ceiling price. But that's dishonest, Mr. Vandercliff. That's black market. No telling how long this war will last, Zach. Might as well make while the sun shines. There are a few of us who'd be willing to pay enough to get what we want. But what about the poor people, Mr. Vandercliff? Suit yourself, Zach. You're one of them now. You could be pretty well off if you used your head. Think it over. I will, sir. I'll think it over. 1,000, 2,000. Oh, pardon me. I was just counting my loot from the black market operation I was in during the war. There was a shortage of caskets, you know. I dug up an idea on how to cash in. All I had to do was clean off the dirt and polish them up again. As for Mr. Gristle, well, let's look in on his home life. Junior, eat your meat. I'm not hungry. 17 points. You say something, Zach? Huh? Oh, no, I was just thinking, dear. Yep, Mr. Gristle thought it all over, and he had made up his mind. Why, Mr. Gristle, there isn't a decent piece of meat in your whole showcase. That's all I got, Mrs. Grundy. Shortage, you know. But I waited online for 2 hours. I'm the first customer you've had today. That's all I got, Miss Grundy. I'm sorry. But at night, shadowy figures would come to Mr. Gristle's store. Here's your steak, Mr. Vandercliff, 10 pounds. And here's your 30 bucks, Mr. Gristle. Oh, I got another customer for you. He wants steaks, too. But I can't get any more, Mr. Vandercliff. I don't get enough points. As it is, I'm giving leftovers to the folks in town. You can figure something out, Mr. Gristle. The folks in town pay points for their meat. Isn't there any meat that you can get without red points? And at 3/4 marker, it's Fathead by a fathead. And now at the stretch, it's a hold it. Fathead just stumbled. Looks like he busted his leg. Too bad. Now they have to shoot him. And he was such a good horse, too. And Mr. Gristle, you listening? Junior, eat your meat. I'm not hungry. See, you expect me to eat like a horse? Horse meat. You say something, Zach? Huh? Oh, no, I was just thinking, dear. Yep, Mr. Gristle found the solution to his problems. He began buying horse meat. and palming it off to his poor customers is a real thing, thereby getting those precious red points. My, you have such a nice selection now, Mr. Gristle. Yes, what would you like, Mr. Snurd? Some steak, chops? As with the precious red points, he'd purchase good meat which he'd sell on the black market. These steaks are going to cost you more money, Mr. Vandercliff. I'm taking big chances now. $5 a pound from here on. Okay, now listen, I need 20 pounds next time. I'm having a banquet and my friends need 10 pounds. Can you get it for us? Soon the horse meat wasn't enough. Mr. Gristle had to find other avenues of supply. Look, Gristle, I'm supposed to sell this meat to zoos. It's too old for human consumption. Been lying around the warehouse too long. Now, for a price, and no points, Gristle. I'll take it, but not a word, understand? Not a word to anyone. First horse meat, now stale meat. Mr. Gristle certainly was sinking lower and lower, but no one suspected nice Mr. Gristle when a few people, the poorer people in town, fell seriously ill. How's your husband today, Mistress Horton? Better, thanks. Now I ain't been feeling too good. But one night, Mr. Gristle isn't in. He's out walking. Well, just tell him he can pick up another load of the slop. The what? The stale meat, junk, stuff he's been selling is good stuff, you know. Oh, yes, I'll tell him. Tell him I got some horse meat for him, too. Bye. Mrs. Gristle closed the door and stared at it for a minute. Then she went out. She arrived at the butcher shop a few minutes later. Here's your meat, Mr. Vandercliff. Thanks, Zach. Don't take it, Mr. Vandercliff. It's stale, old. It may be horse meat. Sarah. Not this stuff, Mrs. Gristle. I pay $6 a pound for this stuff. Zach's regular customers get the junk. $6. Black market. Right kid, this, Sarah. Cooked with the numbers. Ceiling price, 69 cents. $6 to the Vandercliffs. Black market. It figures. But she's a good kid. Miss Gristle, she's real mad. After Zach's customer leaves, you're selling meat on the black market? You keep out of this, Sarah. And you're passing off horse meat and stale meat to our customers for red points? We're going to be rich, Sarah. I don't want that kind of money. Mr. Norton was terribly sick. Was it from your meat? Probably. Who cares? Anyway, I want the money. After the war, I'm going to retire. I socked away $6 grand already. You got to stop this. It's against the law. Ha! Ask old Snork Man about his gasoline business. Find out about Finch's tire racket. Everybody's doing it. Why shouldn't I? Yep, Miss Gristle was awful mad, and she couldn't talk Zach out of it. He was determined to make his pile, no matter who suffered. Got a deal for you, Gristle. Got some tainted meat, real bad. No one will know it, though. Got a process that covers it up. They won't find out till it's inside them. They'll feel it pretty bad. I need some points badly. Got a big order to fill. Okay, I'll take it. So Zach Gristle bought the spoiled meat and sold it to his customers. My sister-in-law is in here from out of town. She's amazed that we can get all the meat that we want. Just trying to do my best, Miss Abercrombie. What'll it be? Don't turn over the page. See what happens. You'll get to it. It's looming. The beginning of the end commences to start right now. Flowers for Mrs. Abercrombie? What kind? Why, lilies, of course. She's dead, you know. Did you hear? Miss Abercrombie just died. Poisoned. They think her sister-in-law did it. Poisoned? They're performing an autopsy right now. Excuse me, Mrs. Gabbert. If that's all you want, I'd like to close up. Miss Gristle started Mrs. Gabbert out of the store and locked it up. Mr. Gristle was scared. Mrs. Gristle was going to hit the road, leave town, take on the land. Howdy, Zach. Closing up early, ain't you? Scared of the maniac? Maniac? What maniac? Well, the one's going around poisoning everyone. Miss Abercrombie and Mr. Snurd and Mr. Snurd and old man Grundy, all dead. Watch yourself going home, Zach. Yes. Well, good night, Pete. Mr. Gristle ran all the way home. First thing he did when he got there was take his black market money from its hiding place. $11,000. Pack your things, sir. We're leaving town. You're in trouble. They found out. I warned you not to sell the horse meat. It's worse than that, Sarah. Poor people are dead already. I sold them tainted meat. You what? What's the matter, Sarah? Can't you hear? He killed them. He sold them poisoned meat. Now it's sinking in that female brain. That's it. Get mad. Get good and mad. You're a murderer! I did it for us, Sarah, for you and me and Junior. Junior! He's eating at Herbie Horton's house. Horton! She bought, son of a bitch! At that moment, Junior staggered into the kitchen. He looked a little green around the gills. I feel sick, Mommy. Junior, baby. Oh. Little Junior collapsed on the kitchen floor. He's dead, Zach. Dead. You killed him, too. Our son. Our son. Sarah, put down that knife. When they unlocked Zach Gristle's butcher shop the next morning, they found Mrs. Gristle standing behind the counter, staring into space. She wore a blood-sweated apron around her neck. Before her, in the meat showcase, Zach Gristle had been clumsily carved and laid out in the various trays. Good Lord! Tainted meat? Tainted meat, anyone? Alright, so you ain't hungry. You can window shop, can't you? Not interested, eh? Maybe you'd be interested in attending a formal banquet given by the ghouls, zombies, werewolves, and vampires Black Market Body Syndicate in honor of Zach Gristle. He'll be served. Still not interested, eh? Well, how about going on to the Vault Keeper then? He's not interesting, too. Got a boring story for you. Then I'll dig you later with another creepy crypt collector's item. Welcome to the Vault of War, fiends. Yep, it's your host, the Vault Keeper, shrieking. Ever hear of mountain climbers? Sure you have. Well, I'll bet you've never heard of mountain crawlers, South American variety. My story concerns one. I call this bristling tale of terror, Roped In. The door to the Wagner, Ellis, Buckley, and Mr. Morgan Construction Company swings open and the stranger enters. He looks around and then steps up to the reception desk. Yes, sir, what can I do for you? Will you tell Mr. Donald Morgan to step out here for a moment? My credentials. The secretary looks down at the stranger's glittering badge and gasps. She switches on the office intercom and whispers, Mr. Morgan, there's a gentleman out here to see you. Have him wait, Miss Ballantyne. I'm busy. He's from the police department, sir. Oh, all right, I'll be right out. Donald Morgan comes out of his office. Yes, what is it? Mr. Morgan, you were in complete charge of the contract for the city hospital, were you not? I was. Handled the entire construction job myself. Why? He goes, well, you're under arrest. What? But there must be some mistake. There's no mistake, Mr. Morgan. The upper floor of the hospital collapsed this morning. An investigation showed that the concrete used was substandard. Almost all sand. Better come along quietly. That's impossible. Ordered that concrete myself. I specified the mixture. It was a good mixture. No, let me go. I won't. What's going on here? What is the meaning of this? Morgan, what does he want? I want him for homicide, gentlemen. Your partner here is responsible for the deaths of 21 hospital patients. What? Morgan, is this true? No, there must be a mistake. The only mistake was the one your partner made when you used too little concrete and too much sand in that hospital job to handle. Good Lord. Morgan, how could you? That's dishonest, Morgan. Ellis, Wagner, Buckley, believe me, I didn't do this. I... Better come along quietly, Mr. Morgan. Let's go. Oh dear, the scandal. Our reputation. After Mr. Morgan is led from the construction company office by the detective, Mr. Wagner, the senior partner of the concern, turns to the other two. Gentlemen, I think we should have a consultation in my office immediately. Yes, Mr. Wagner. Of course, Mr. Wagner. It looks like Mr. Ellis, Mr. Buckley, and Mr. Wagner are shocked over this latest turn of events, eh, kiddies? Look at them, chattering like a bunch of monkeys. They've been nice and respectable, eh? The kind that are appalled and dishonest by dishonesty. Well, come on in and listen. You'll be shocked. That's Buckley screaming now. How did I know it would collapse? That mixture stood up in that school job Morgan handled last year. So far, that is. What are you complaining about, Ellis? You got a nice fat chunk from the dough we saved. I'm not complaining, only they're on to us now. So what? We've only substituted cheap materials on Morgan's jobs. He'll take the rap. He's trapped in a web of circumstantial evidence. We'll just keep acting shocked at the whole deal. They'll never suspect us. Yep, that's a picture, kiddies. Buckley and Wagner have been taking the high-grade construction material ordered by Morgan on every job he's handled and substituting cheap, inferior-grade stuff. Then they've been pocketing the difference, or Morgan is responsible. Yes, they spun a neat little web of evidence around the innocent fourth partner. Now the evidence is being weighed. Listen. Gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. We find the defendant, Donald Morgan, guilty of manslaughter. No, no! Yes, Donald, yes. The web is tight. It's been woven well. You're done for. I'm innocent. Innocent, I tell you. Take him away. At the offices of the Wagner, Ellis, and Buckley Construction Company. Why the sudden meeting, Wagner? It has nothing to do with Morgan, gentlemen. Do you remember that Bolivian contract we bid on the power plant and dam? Well, we got it. Well, that's a fortune. And there's only 3 of us to split the profit now. When do we leave, Wagner? Tomorrow. We're flying down in the company's private plane. And so the next day, the small 4-seater takes off from the airport, just outside the city, going for Paz, capital of Bolivia. Poor Morgan, he always loved to fly with us. Too bad he had to miss this trip. Yeah, too bad. A week later, the construction company's plane is winging its way along, south over the Andes Mountains. We ought to reach La Paz before nightfall. Look at those mountains down there. Aren't they beautiful? North of Lake Titicaca on the Peru-Bolivian border, the tiny plane runs into the storm. We're being blown off course. These mountain storms are treacherous. We'll crash. The storm lashes at the airplane, tossing it like a feather. It's getting dark. I can hardly see. Look out, that mountaintop. Mountaintop looms up before the plane. Wagner struggles with the controls. I can't get any altitude. We'll have to try going around. 3 men in the plane strain their eyes, trying to pierce the gathering gloom. Suddenly, as a bolt of lightning flashes, we're flying between 2 mountains. Get up higher! Get up higher! I can't! The shock throws the 3 men forward. For a moment, the tiny plane vibrates crazily. What happened? We hit something. But we didn't crash. Wagner peers out of the window as the lightning flashes once more. He screams. We're still between those 2 mountains. We're just hanging in midair. What? You're right. Soon the storm subsides. Ellis takes a flashlight and opens the plane door. Look, the plane is caught on these cables. Be careful, you'll fall. Ellis climbs from the tiny craft onto the cable-like structure. It's some sort of network. I'm going to climb down. No, Ellis, wait till daylight. You don't even know how high up we are. But Ellis does not listen. He starts down the cable network. Soon, only the glow of his flashlight can be seen. Ellis, come back, you crazy fool. Suddenly, the flashlight glow blanks out, and the night is filled with a blood-curdling shriek of horror. Ellis? Good Lord! From beside their plane, Wagner and Buckley stare into the darkness. What could have happened to him? He must have fallen. No, his scream didn't fade away. It was cut short. He saw something. As dawn breaks over the Andes, Wagner and Buckley behold a strange and terrifying sight. Their tiny plane hangs entwined in a strange cable network halfway between the sheer sides of 2 mountains and high over the valley floor. Look, we can climb to safety. It reaches the mountainsides. Buckley moves out over the cable network. Wagner hangs back, a sensation of terror crawling down his spine. Come on, Wagner, you can't stay there until you starve. I don't know. Oh my Lord! The gigantic hairy thing darts down the network from beyond the mountain ridge. Its huge, spiny legs, 8 huge spiny legs carry it at a breathtaking speed. Wagner screams. Buckley, look out! It's a giant spider! Wagner scampers back into the trapped plane and slams the door. From the window, he watches as a giant crawling thing reaches Buckley. Oh Lord! It's devouring him! Buckley's hysterical shrieks of pain finally subside. The huge spider turns and moves towards the plane. Now it's coming to get me! The giant spider crouches over the tiny plane, waiting for its terrified occupant to emerge. It waits patiently, hour after hour. I'm trapped! Trapped! It's just sitting there waiting for me. Back in the United States, the warden and the doctor stare down at Donald Morgan. He sits in the corner of his cell, muttering. He's beyond hope, Warden, a complete mental breakdown. Stir crazy. While high in the Andes, Morgan's ex-business associate is suffering the same fate. He, too, is out of his mind. Spider, waiting for me. Yup. So after Wagner, Ellis, and Buckley trapped Morgan in a web of evidence, they were trapped in one themselves. A real web, that is. I suppose you're wondering if a spider like that really exists. Well, next time you see a local spider, ask it if it's ever heard of a South American mountain crawler. It'll probably curl up and die at the mere mention of its name. Bye now. Feel the chill of my tomb dwellers of Second Life. Tales from Crypt number 32 evokes Curse, a textual torment from the shadows. Beware the words. Ramsey squeezed the trigger and felt the pistol buck violently in his hand. The young native guide in front of him spun around and crashed headlong into the heavy foliage. I don't need him any longer, Ramsey muttered as he slipped his gun back into its holster and stepped around the body sprawling beside the crude trail. Now that he was revealed the hiding place of his people's treasure, I could go to the rest of the way myself. As soon as I crack open the tomb where those superstitious savages buried their loot, a fortune in diamonds and rubies is mine. 3 hours later, 3 grueling hours of incessant hacking through the matted underbrush, Ramsey staggered into a grassy clearing. Before him, rising gray and ominous as the guy had predicted, towered the mountain where the treasures of Malunkin Island was hidden. $500,000 intended as a sacrifice to primitive gods was sealed up in those rocks. The fatigue of the long trek from the coast, the painful lunging over razorback ridges and through evilly sucking swamps, was forgotten by Ramsey in that moment of ecstasy. Here, somewhere along the base of this craggy mountain, was the secret entrance to a sacrificial chamber which housed the king's ransom. The sun had begun fading when Ramsey found the cryptic designs carved into the stone. A warning, the guide had whispered, that doom awaited anyone who had dared invade the sanctity of the mountain. The only one who perished because of that fool curse, Ramsey sneered, was the guide himself. In a few minutes he had jammed a dozen sticks of dynamite into fissures beside the sealed entrance. From a distance protected by a huge boulder, Ramsey heard the shattering blast and saw tons of rock shower in every direction. When the dust had settled, he raced towards the gaping hole now revealed in the mountain's side. Even from this distance he could see the glimmer of precious stones within the tomb. It was all his. A deep rumble made him stop in his tracks. The ground began to tremble wildly. Far above the mountaintop was disintegrating before his eyes. Flames leaped madly towards the clouds, hissing black lava gushed torrentially down upon him. Before Ramsey in his terror could flee across the grassy clearing, the searing liquid was upon him. Like fiery tar, it bubbled across his legs, searing his tortured skin and tearing it loose in raw shreds. Pain stabbed instantly through his body, from head to toe. He felt stifling heat filling his agonized lungs, choking his breath in his throat. The treasure, a thought, flickered through his brain as he felt himself dissolving in that blanketing sea of molten lava, hurled in the side of buried in the side of a volcanic mountain. Dynamite activated it. Scorching lava rolled on, and in its midst, Ramsey's body turned molten hot, simmered and spit like meat broiled in a blast furnace. Shuffle the deck, my Second Life specters. Tales from the Crypt number 32 bets on counting cards, a game where the stakes in limb and life. Ante up. Story is probably the most horrible, blood-curdling tale you'll ever read. It concerns 2 professional gamblers, Gus Fournet and Louis Grevis, gamblers. Big-time gamblers like Gus and Lou are in a class by themselves. Gambling is their life. The wager is set in their blood. But Gus Fournet and Louis Grevis hated each other like poison. There isn't enough room in this town for both of us, Lou. I'm not leaving, Gus, so goodbye. Get on your horse. I mean, there isn't enough room in this whole world for both of us, Lou, and I'm willing to gamble to see who leaves it. You're bluffing, Gus. Okay, you're on. Shall we draw? High card wins, loser dies. Choice of method is his. It's a bet. Here's the deck. Shuffle 'em up. Gus shuffled the cards and spread them out face down on the table. Go ahead, pick. Okay, I'll pick. Lou fingered the face down cards running through them. Then he spun one over. Ace, too bad. Gus. Wait a minute, I still draw. There are 3 aces left in that deck. Gus stared down at the cards panned out for him. The odds were 16-1 against the picking one of the 3 remaining aces. He spun a card over. Why, you lucky son of a bitch. Ace. Lou, shall we draw again? No, I got a simpler method. Get your revolver. I challenge you to a game of Russian roulette. Okay, Lou, you're on. Gus took his revolver from the drawer and removed all but one bullet from its 6 chambers. We go in sequence, alternating. I'll go first. Okay with me, Gus. I'll spin the chamber. Lou took the 6-shot revolver and twirled the chamber. There, she stopped spinning. Now remember, one after the other till she goes off. Right, give it to me. Gus took the revolver. He lifted the barrel to his temple. The odds were 5-1. Click. Gus handed the gun to Lou. Lou placed the muzzle against his head. Odds now 4-1. Click. Gus took the gun. Beads of perspiration began to pop out on the 2 gamblers' faces. Gus pointed the revolver. Odds 3-1. Click. Lou took the gun. There were 3 shots left now. One of them had the bullet. Odds 2-1. Click. Lou sighed of relief and mopped his brow. Gus's hand shook a little as he raised the gun. He hesitated. It was even money now. His fingers twitched, then closed. Click. Gus grinned. Lou stared at the gun. The odds had run out. The bullet was left. Gus handed the weapon over. Too bad, Lou. Lou lifted the gun and steeled himself for the death blow as the bullet came crashing into his brain. He squeezed the trigger. Clunk. What? It didn't go off. A dud. Why, you dirty son of a bitch. You knew it all the time. That's why you wanted it to go first. You thought I'd crawl. Don't be an idiot, Lou. You twirled the chamber. How did I know it'd come up last? You can't talk your way out of this one, Gus. No matter when you came up, you had a sure thing. Are you accusing me, Gus Fournet, of cheating? You can hear. Lucky I'm an honest gambler, I'd never have found out. But I'm not. I'll never welsh when I lose. Okay, Krebs. If you're such a big shot gambler, then you'll accept my challenge. You just name it. Nobody calls Gus Fournet a cheat. Krebs, I challenge you to a game of chop poker. Okay, you crumb, you're on. To a finish. To a finish. Call your doctor, I'll get mine. Then fiends begin the worst horrible game in the history of modern gambling. You've heard of strip poker? Well, chop poker is almost like that, only instead of losing an article of clothing, you lose a limb. Chop poker has been played before, it was told, but only one hand at a time. Never to a finish. They sat at the green felt-covered table beneath the glaring lamp. The meat cleaver sparkled between them. Gus dealt the cards. I'll take 2. I'll take 3. I got 3 tens, Lou. Sorry, Gus. 3 ladies. Lou picked up the cleaver and stood over Gus. Which one, Gus? The pinky, Lou. Gus stretched out his hands. His personal doctor moved forward into the light. Lou raised the cleaver and brought it down. It was like a fiendish duel. The doctors were there second. Time was taken out while Gus II serviced them. The bandages were blotched red when they began again. Your deal, Lou. Cut. Lou dealt the cards. They discarded. Then, I got 2 pair, Gus. Kings and 6s. Same, Lou. 3 4s. Gus picked up the cleaver in his good hand. Lou's second moved in the lamplight. Which one, Lou? The pinky, Gus. Lou stretched out his left hand and Gus took careful aim. Again, time was taken out while Lou's II serviced him. Soon the cards were shuffled once more. Let's go, Gus. You deal. Cut 'em, Lou. Hey, yep, kiddies, that's how the game is played. It continued on like that, far into the night, as each hand was played out and won. But Lou Gus never did play chop poker to a finish. Oh yes, they played all night and then the next day. But they had to quit towards evening. Seems neither of them could deal the cards. What? You don't believe me? Well, look in at this hospital room. Lula and Gus are in there still gambling. Go ahead, sure move. So pass the chewing gum. I want to jump you. Peanuts, popcorn. Yep, it's your feeder of all fables, the old witch cooking again. Got a circus recipe for you this time. Elephant steak garnished with crushing tan bark. I got the idea from the story I'm about to tell you. I call this garbled grabbing of gore. Squash anyone? For a moment, the crowd under the big top sat deathly silent. Then from the bandstand, a drum began to roll, its ominous staccato of anticipation growing louder and louder. In the center of the ring, the huge elephant lifted a massive foreleg. A scantily-clad woman reclined on the tan-bark floor. The elephant trainer barked orders, the ringmaster announced. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the most death-defying feat ever presented under this big top. The woman wriggled under the mammoth upraised foot of the elephant. The trainer shouted above the drum roll's rising crescendo. The elephant trumpeted, curling its trunk. 8,000 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. One slip and it means certain death. Watch! The girl stared up at the huge hoof. It was directly over her face. The trainer barked an order. The Goliath lowered its upraised foreleg. The drum roll thundered. The elephant hoof touched the woman's nose. The cymbal crashed. The trainer and the girl bowed again, and again the crowd cheered. The elephant act is over. The circus band struck up a happy march, and the clowns swept out across the arena. The trainer and the girl disappeared through the exit way. Emma was good tonight, Milo. Her foot was steady. I have trained her well, Renee. Didn't you think they applauded more than usual tonight? The couple moved across the circus grounds to a trailer. The letters painted upon it were big and impressive. Milo, world's greatest elephant trainer. How would you like to ride in town tonight, Milo? Not tonight, Renee. I am tired. Inside of the trailer was crowded and messy. Colorful costumes lay strewn about. Books and magazines sprawled on every available surface. Not tonight. Not tonight. That's all I hear. Well, I'm not staying around night after night. Not in this dump. I'm not stopping you from going into town, Renee. The woman slipped out of her scant costume and into a street dress. Heck of a marriage ours is. I might as well be married to your elephant. Then divorce me, Renee. Oh no, not that easy, big boy. You're stuck with me. I'll never give you a divorce without a fight. It'll cost you plenty. Okay, Renee. Okay. We've been through all this before. Renee slammed the door of the trailer in anger as she left. From beyond in the shadows, a figure watched her enter the car. As soon as Renee had driven off, the figure moved out of the shadows. It was a woman. She darted towards Milo's trailer. Theta, darling. Oh, Milo. They clung to each other for a few moments. Then, did you tell her about us? Oh, no use. She'd never give me a divorce. I know. We'll have to run away. Letta looked at Milo. A flash of evil glimpsed in her tempestuous eyes. What? What if there were a terrible accident? What if Renee were killed? Lita, what are you saying? Emma could slip, my darling. Don't you see how easy it could be? No, Emma would not slip. She's well trained. She would not put her foot down until I signaled her. And if you did signal her, it would be murder, Lita. Exactly, my darling, and no one would ever know. You could act shot. Blame it on Emma. Claim that she disobeyed you. I'd have to have her shot. You could train another, my darling. New wife, new elephant, a whole new life for you. I don't know. I just don't know. Lita's eyes burned, her face darkened. It's that or me, Milo. I'm not cut out for this secret meeting nonsense. I want you all the time or not at all. Give me a chance to think it over, Lita, please. Lita smiled, she pursed her lips, running her hand through Milo's hair. Of course, my darling, until tomorrow night's performance. If it doesn't happen then... Lita, baby. The next evening, Milo and Renee stood in the entranceway to the big top, awaiting their cue music. Emma trumpeted softly. She seemed to sense that something was wrong. There, girl. Emma seems nervous tonight, Milo. She's alright. Come on, there's our cue. The fanfare silenced the crowd. The ringmaster introduced the act as the spotlight swung to the bowing performers. And now, Milo, the greatest elephant trainer in the world, and his wonder elephant Emma, assisted by that death-defying beauty, Renee. The drum began its anxious roll once more. Milo barked an order and Emma lifted her foot. Renee got down on the ring floor and wriggled below it. The thunder of the rolling drum grew louder and louder. Emma's hoof hung menacingly above Renee's white face. Milo barked an order and the huge foot lowered slowly. For a moment, Emma's giant hoof touched Renee's white face. The drum roll reached its crescendo. As the cymbal crashed, Milo shouted at Emma. Renee screamed. The scream came too late. Emma was well trained and responded immediately. Milo watched in horror as 8,000 pounds descended on Renee's fear-twisted face. Look out! Good Lord! Emma trumpeted cheerily. She reared up, snorting for a moment. The stowed audience was shocked by the gory sight. Then someone shrieked. Pandemonium broke loose. Milo hollered hoarsely. Somebody, do something! Emma's gone mad! 2 guards rushed forward. They fired at the red-eyed pachyderm, emptying their guns into her tough hide. The crowd screamed and shouted as it broke for the exits. Emma swayed and toppled over on her side, dead. The circus band blared in discord, attempting to restore order. The ringmaster rushed to Milo as he stared down at Renee's crushed remains in utter revulsion. Don't look at her, Milo. It's horrible. Renee. They led Milo to the exitway. He was sobbing softly, but that night, far from the circus grounds, he and Lita laughed together. It was so simple, darling, so simple. I told you, Milo, I told you it would be. Milo was free now, free of Renee forever. He and Lita made plans. We'll wait a few months just to make it look good, and then we'll be married. And I'll begin to training another elephant. From now on, it's smooth sailing for us, Milo. Come on, baby. It didn't take long for Milo to train a new elephant to take Emma's place. Within a year, the act was again thrilling audiences. Milo with his wonderful elephant, Bessie, assisted by that death-defying beauty, Lita. The circus returned to the town where the horrible accident had happened 1 year previously. The night of the opening performance, Milo and Lita stood beside Bessie awaiting their cue. I'll be glad when this week is over and we leave this burg. Renee is buried here in Emma. Don't think about it, darling. The cue fanfare blared. The spotlight swung to the entranceway to pick them up. A distant shrill trumpeting sounded. Steady, Bessie, baby. That wasn't Bessie, Milo. The low rumbling that echoed in the night did not come from the bandstand. The clown darted across the arena, screaming, I saw them! Milo, what is it? It burst through the exitway across the tan-bark floor. It trumpeted shrilly. The stench filled the big top. Its rotting hide fell away in slimy clods as it moved. Here and there, whitened bones protruding through its maggot-covered flesh. Perched on the remains of its head sat the decaying figure of a woman, urging it on. Emma and Renee! It lumbered towards the horrified trader and his new wife, the thing on its head pointing wildly. It was too late for Milo to move, too late to run. The thing upon him, lifting him in its foul-smelling, decomposing trunk. Lita was caught beneath one of its huge rotted hoofs. Milo was flung to the tan-bark with the force of a 20-story fall. Lita was crushed flat. Then, as the screams subsided and death came to Milo and Lita, the huge thing and its human thing upon it seemed to just fall away into a pile of putrescent slime. Peanuts? Popcorn? Putrescent slime? Hey, lady, butter brat, a bit of putrescent slime? Yep, that's my tail, kiddies. Renee and Emma got their revenge, and Milo and Lita got theirs, too. By the way, I'm selling cotton candy. Got a whole trunk full. What a rotten-tasting stuff. Bye now. Well, I'll see you in the Vault Keeper's mag, the Vault of Horror. And now, that seals the tune on Tales from the Crypt number 32 here at Thank you for rotting at SL Tonight Studio. Happy Halloween, boils and ghouls.